We were all scared. There's no doubt about it. We were quiet. We weren't saying too much. And when we hit the coast, it looked like the 4th of July. All the anti-aircraft were firing at us. The smoke was black. And when the pilots were getting scared because they was wanting to get out of there. They thought maybe they, well, like us, they didn't know if they was going to make it back to England or not. But I lit about 15 miles from where we were supposed to be. And after there was 2 other fellows, Van Enwyck and Brickley, lit right close to me. And Sergeant Van Enwyck says, what are we going to do? I said, well, we don't know where we're at. We don't have a map. Let's go across that field and get in a hedgerow till morning. So we did. We crossed the field and got into the hedgerow, and when daylight came, we heard some roosters crowing. So we knew we was close to a farmhouse. So we slipped down the hedgerow toward where the farmhouse was, and we seen somebody walking on the road. This man on the road, or a trooper. Van Enwyck, we had crickets. And Van Enwyck snapped his cricket, and this trooper snapped back. So we knew it was a friendly troop. So he went out and talked to the boy on the road, and he waited for us to come on. So we went on up, and we went out on the road, and he told us there was up there by the church, there was an officer with some more men. And this was, the little town was Saint-Germain-le-Laudaville. That was the name of the place that we lived in. And he said, don't worry. He said, I know where we have to go, and you stay with us, and we'll go. You can go back to our company, and from then on, you'll find our company commander, his company commander, knew where there was a rendezvous point. So that evening when we got to where his company was at, the captain there says, you stay here tonight, you eat your supper, and in the morning, I'll tell you how to get to your rendezvous point. So the next morning early, I got up, ate breakfast, took off, crawling through hedgerows, crossing roads, hiding behind hedgerows, till I found the rendezvous point, which that afternoon. So I went and reported in, and the major there says, you stay here tonight, said, get you some supper, and tomorrow, he said, you can get up and I'll tell you how to get back to your company. So the next morning, I got up, he went down and seen him. He said, have you had breakfast? And I said, no. He said, get you something to eat and then come back. So I did. I got me something to eat, and I went back, and he told me how to get where my company was at. And it was behind a brick house, a red brick house. And on the way there, I run into a small armored tank. In these tanks, these boys was drinking wine, eating cheese, and I had some cheese and wine there with them. And they had a German binoculars. And this one handed them to me, and he said, here, I said, they might do you some good, but they won't do me any good. He said, take them. So I thanked him for them. And I went on down the road to where the house was, and I went around one corner, and here come the company commander around the other corner. He stopped and looked at me, and he said, my God, Sergeant, he said, I thought you was dead. Your plane never reached England. He grabbed me around the neck and hugged me, and I grabbed him and hugged him. He said, now you just got here, so you go behind the house and stay. We have to go over on Hill 30.
You must have been to see your company commander, and he also see you. Then what happened?
Well, they left for Hill 30, where they was going to help the 2nd Battalion out. And he told me not to do anything but stay there. Of course, dumb me, I volunteered when there was a lieutenant came by and wanted some helpers to take ammunition and blood plasma and blood over on Hill 30. And they was 2 privates, 1 on each fender, the driver, the lieutenant in the front seat, and there was 2 sergeants, myself and another sergeant and a private in the back. And we had our rifles up on top of the hood of the truck, and we went through Pickerville. He made the right turn in Pickerville, but the next turn he didn't make, and he drove right into a machine gun nest. And this machine gun nest opened up on us, and behold, it killed both privates that was on the fender. It killed the driver, it killed the lieutenant that was in the truck. The bullets went between our legs and the back, and the driver flipped the truck sideways, and we jumped off the other side. And as we jumped off the other side, they throwed a hand grenade over. And I got hit in the right leg, up in the thigh, and the sergeant got hit in the back. And we crawled down a hedgerow and got back to Pickerville, and there was some tanks there, and 2 men jumped into a tank and took off up the road. And they went up there, and they wasn't going but a little bit, and they came back and said, "You're right." He said, "They're dead up there, and the machine gun has moved out." And that was the end of my days in Normandy.
So they shipped you back to England at that point?
They shipped me back to England, to the hospital.